Okay. Let's see. Bro, what the heck? Okay. I got it, but it's a different link now. Okay. Let me text it to you. Sorry about that. Where the hell is my controller? Okay. Yeah, this link should be good.
Been talking this whole time and it's been like the wrong Bluetooth thing. Okay, so the link you just sent me is the one to go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna post this on my stories real quick. And then maybe should we hop into a game?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. Okay, wait, give me.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna hit them all.
Me too. I'm gonna.
Fuck, I sent it in my Discord too. I gotta unsend.
Sorry, man.
No, dude, don't say sorry. I'm as you are. I like the shirt though.
Dude, I had to. It would be wrong of me not to.
Wait, we should twin. No, I got the hat on. I can't double up. Sorry, I'm gonna go mute for a second while I post all these.
No worries, man.
What have you been up to this weekend? Anything crazy?
No. Okay, now it's going. Yeah. Video games.
I couldn't find my old username, so I'm on a fresh account.
Yeah, this is my my username was my brother's, and I just kind of took it over when he like moved out.
So you got a high gamer score then.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Dude, no worries.
Can I get some promo in here? Okay,
Let
I'm
me
gonna throw it on
also.
my personal number. So I accepted your your friend request. I don't know. I hope this works because I'm doing it all on my computer and it was lagging a bit.
Here, let's see. Let me
Let's see if
invite
we
you.
can handle both of them.
I'll invite you to a game.
Okay, let's do it. If I can figure out how to. If there's a way to like not. I feel like I'm such a scrub on this now. Like everyone I play with has not stopped playing this game since like 2008 when it came out, and I clearly have, and I don't even stand a chance.
No, like when I was playing, I was like, this is for sure just like dads. You know, like guys who grew up.
For sure.
It's probably people like my older brother, you know?
Yeah, like they just never gave it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The brand playing. So I got one last call. I'm gonna put my personal story, and then let's
Nice.
talk with it. I feel like my mom's gonna join or something. It's the real scary part.
I know. Gotta keep language to a minimum.
Yeah, can I say whatever on here?
Yeah, you're fine.
Is it okay? All right, we're good to go.
Okay, dude.
Let me make sure. Okay. I'm here. The links are live. Oh, wait, one more. Sorry, I wanted to throw it on my Discord. But can you invite me to a game on here? Then let's start.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Or I see you. I don't know how to access you.
Yeah, I'll send you another.
It's like a boomer trying to figure out how to work these interfaces now. It's crazy.
I know.
Like, I haven't played video games, and honestly, well, because you hit me up to do this, and then I downloaded Xbox, and now I've been doing it all week. Now it's like a slippery slope. I can't stop playing it like at night, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get a game.
I'll hop on. Yeah, well, that's
and then
I'm married, you know, my wife, and we just love Fortnite. Like,
no way. So you guys play it together?
Yeah, so I have a PlayStation and an Xbox, and so we'll have like the Xbox in one room and the PlayStation in another, and just link up and play with some friends. And we're friends with this other married couple, and like we'll just squad up. Like it was for a while, it was like every day for like a couple weeks, but it's gone down a bit.
God.
But it's awesome.
Dude, couple goals. How long have you been married for?
Almost 2 years. So.
No way.
It's been
Congrats, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, she's fun.
Did you invite me on here?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Yeah. Okay, let me try and figure this out.
Yeah. Dude, it's literally so hard to figure it out.
Okay. Well, I'm also trying to. Okay. Everything's posted. I'm locking in. I'm here. Okay. Let me try and figure out how you just invited me. I didn't even see a notification come up. I see your name here.
I know. I see your name too, and I like can't go over to it.
God, should have figured this out beforehand, huh?
Hey.
Okay. We tried our best. Okay, wait. Can you send me another invite? I'm gonna try and like see if something pops up.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're fresh on the game. You and your wife have been gaming.
Yeah. I mean, like my brother, he's on like this video game like team. So he's right now actually in LA like streaming. He's like a broadcast host for World of Warcraft. Super old game.
They
like
have their offices out here, right?
Yeah.
They're
Like Blizzard.
Ones.
Yeah. So they're doing like this streaming thing right now.
Oh no way. Dude,
Yeah.
I cannot find your thing popping up here.
I know.
Dude,
this is
horrible start. I can't figure out how to get in the game with you. I wonder if maybe if I'm on my computer, I can start clicking stuff. Oh, I got you. For game session. I invited you. Did that pop up?
Yep.
Okay.
There we
Let's try
go.
that. Okay, we're in it together.
There
okay.
we go.
Good. I'm gonna. What should we do? Oh, big team battle, bro. Can we hit some of that first?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit it. I'm gonna take off all there's some like stupid little things, but okay, we're in. We're starting. We're searching.
Let's go. Oh, we're about to get
Finally.
smoked.
A little tardy, but we figured it out. So I assume you haven't streamed before ever.
No, I tried once streaming like Fortnite just for fun, and it just, yeah, it wasn't. I was bad. I'm not very good. But like I've just grown up playing video games a lot, and so I'm like, oh man, this would be a really cool thing to like combine like clothing and video games and like just kind of like content and just, you know, like hop on with someone and just figure out their brand and stuff. And because like I feel like the number one thing is like people are always asking like, how do you start a brand, you know? So I think it'll be fun to like just go into like depth. But I'm gonna do like, oh wait, I gotta start recording for so I can have the footage.
Yeah, we're in here.
We're in, man.
That's why our invids.
Choppy here. It's gonna be really cheap because I'm
Oh
lagging
my
too.
god.
But
Not a good start.
yeah, man, I'm happy to answer any questions. Let me know. Let me know when
Yeah.
you're all set up, and I'm gonna try not to get killed in Halo like 40 times.
I know. I have to. I'm hearing like the chat of the other team. So I'm just turning it off.
A bunch of like 12-year-olds, bro. This is what I'm talking about. I play this game and get spawned like crazy.
Yeah, me too right now. Oh my gosh.
Like I moved. That's what I'm saying. We gotta get like these kids are not stop playing this game. Around like 2000. I think I started playing this. I think I was in like 4th grade, maybe. I was in 3rd grade. I'm still pretty rusty.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I killed though, so on the map.
So I'm just gonna start with like a formal interview, just so like when I clip it on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. So this is Cam from Arran Studios, and it's Cam Daly, right? Cam Daly?
Daily.
Daily,
Yeah, but
okay.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, Cam Daly from Arran Studios, a brand that like honestly is like speaking for itself right now. And I'm just super excited for everybody to. Oh, someone said lower the game audio. Super excited to have this opportunity. So, Cam, how we doing?
Man, I'm blushing, bro. Well, in Halo, I'm not doing very good, but I'm excited to chat. I feel like I've done like a few little live streams on TikTok, and I always say it's so nice to have like a longer form. Because there's so much I want to say and talk about, and like figuring out how to smash that into like a really short form video isn't always the most effective. Obviously, like I think you just miss out on so much detail.
Right.
So I'm stoked to be talking and like be able to have a bit more time to like really go into depth and answer questions and talk about the brand, because
Yeah. So
it's hard to do on like TikTok.
Yeah, like I feel like people's attention spans are pretty short. Like I'm sure this is most of what people are gonna see of this is like clips, you know. But like, so you pronounce the brand name Arran Studios, right? Arran.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, when I started the brand, I was trying for it to just be Arran, but all of like the usernames and like, or not the usernames, the handles and like website stuff were taken up for it. So we have the studios on it. I am trying to make a push to refer to it as just Arran, but correct. Yeah, you're right on the money with that.
So you seem like someone who's like really just like intentional and like pays tribute to a lot of things, and I'm curious, like, did you just come up with the name Arran and it just sounded nice, or does it like pay homage to like something in your life?
Yeah. So we started it. I mean, it all comes from. I'll back up a little bit. So my dad is from Scotland, and he grew up in this small town, and like off the coast of the town he grew up in was this island called the Isle of Arran.
Oh wow.
which is where the name comes from. So it comes from that, and I think the whole reason behind the brand and everything, kind of the reason that I started it was to be able to tell stories kind of like related to my personal life and just like larger narratives around American culture. And so he immigrated to the US when he was 25 or something. And I don't know, like just talking to him, and also my mom had a similar story.
Oh wow.
um, just that kind of journey and their upbringing was really inspiring to me. And I think I've always really been into like American iconography and motifs, and it felt like that was kind of a perfect mesh of the two. Like, okay, he immigrated here and had this like was like living out the American dream, as cliche as it is now,
Uh huh.
but it gave it a really good starting place for the brand. Because I feel like visually and stylistically, I've always fell in love with like polo and like a lot of old like classic. I mean, I've always loved stuff like Elvis and like classic American movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it felt like it fit, and it was a really appropriate kind of narrative. So that his like immigration here was a big part of it, and I wanted like obviously the brand talks a lot about kind of American themes and narratives and motifs. But being able to tie it back to like Scotland and I think where he was from was really great. And I think a nice tie back. And not that like the whole entire brand is about
Right.
that narrative in particular, but it felt like a good starting ground. It felt like kind of the beginning of a new path for him in the brand. And the name just stuck. It was open. I liked how it sounded as well. So I was like, all right, it's good. It ties back into the larger theme of the brand. We just got cooked, by the way.
I know, but we
Ties
won. Our
back to the
team won.
larger theme of the brand. Oh, did
Or
we?
were we against each
I
other?
was getting, I was getting cooked, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, it felt like it was a nice personal tie back to me, and then also I liked the name, and it was open and usable, which is a big thing. You gotta. I feel like if there are people that are starting a brand that like want to know how to do it, picking a name where it's like you get down to the logistics of it, it's like that's not copyrighted or trademarked, whatever it's called.
Uh huh.
You can find handles, you can get like a domain name. That's like you can come up with all the cool names you want, but if like those aren't available, all of it kind of goes to dust. So
Yeah.
that's the story behind the brand. That's where the name kind of came from, and was where I think the first few collections, and honestly, as I've continued to like plan things out, a lot of the upcoming kind of just themes and narratives I want to talk about around the brand kind of live in that world as well. So sorry, long answer, but
No, no, that's
hopefully that answers the
perfect.
question.
Um, I so before this, I read that Hypebeast article, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm super fascinated and curious about your grandma Pat.
Oh my god, that is so funny. Yeah, I was just talking to someone about this the other day. They thought it was made up. It's a real story. So this is on the other side, and this is where I talk about like the brand. There's just so many stories I think within my family that I don't think have been told properly. Like it's all just like personal lore between like our family members, and it's so interesting that I'm like, all right, this is a good platform to do so and talk about it. So my mom, this is on my mom's side now, which I was alluding to, is also like a crazy interesting story. Her mom was, it's really sad. It's like when it's we joke about it now lightheartedly, but I think there's an element to it that's like, but it's all lighthearted, and I think now looking back on it, everyone's like, that was hilarious. But she was married 8 times, had like yeah, obviously 8 different husbands, was moving around everywhere, and was a stripper. My mom's whole childhood, and it all kind of comes down, and like this is in like the deep south, so like
Okay.
Alabama and Louisiana and all that stuff. So that's also where there's a whole I think the world of the brand kind of lives in that era, like mid-century, like rural American South, because it kind of ties back to that story. But it was a stripper and was just moving around, getting married. She has a couple siblings. Um, and from when I knew her, she passed away when I was like 8 or 9, maybe. But when I knew her, she was pretty big. She was maybe like 350 pounds,
Oh wow.
300 pounds, and had one leg.
Oh
And
wow.
like always, she was in a nursing home at this point, but like was always rizzing up the nursing home people. Like she, she had, I don't know how much of detail I can go. You can clip any of this out, but like she died from like, I don't know if it was like an, God, I can't even tell this, but like died from like an STD or like
Oh wow.
some infection from like that she got from her boyfriend in the nursing home. So she was like always getting after it. So she she just like lived this crazy life. And so when I knew her, all I knew from growing up was like it's this like larger lady with one leg, and my mom was like, yeah, she's a stripper, or she was a stripper.
Oh
So
wow.
there's so much like story within that, but I think just that that picture is kind of interesting to paint. And it's like I tell people that and they don't believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
it's
was
a real
like,
story.
I gotta get to the bottom of this. Like, I'm fascinated. But
Mm-hmm.
where are you from? Where did you grow up?
So I was born in like just outside of Los Angeles, but grew up in Chicago, like the suburbs of Chicago,
Okay,
for until I was like from 4 or 5 to 18 when I went to college. So
nice. Okay, wait. When did you
mm,
graduate? High school?
2020. Oh, high school 2017 to
Okay.
2021. I'm 26 now, bro, and it's interesting because like
I'm
I feel
26
like
too. I
everyone.
graduated 2018.
Okay,
So
so we're in the same world because I feel like everyone now, especially on social media and especially in the fashion space, they're all so everyone's like 21, 22, like younger than that
yeah,
probably. And I'm like, wow, I was in high school when you guys were, which is crazy because I feel like I never unked myself that much, but I feel like with this, it's been feeling a
yeah,
little more. I've been feeling more dated.
yeah. No, like my birthday is in it's in like a week or a couple weeks, but I'm turning 27, so it's just like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually almost in my 30s. Like that, like
Yeah, dude.
it's like so weird and scary. So in high school,
Pushing 30.
did you did you like care about clothing? Like when was it when you were like, okay, I like to know what I'm like wearing, what do I how I dress. Like when was that? Like when did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it was more of like I don't know if I was necessarily interested in like clothing and fashion. I was already so it started. I was maybe a sophomore in high school. I got super into film, and like this was the era of like, dude, like some people probably don't even know about
Like
this because
like Sam
we're
Cold?
on.
Is that his name?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like the travel
Sam
edits.
Colder maybe.
Sam
Yeah,
Colder,
like that, and
yep.
like Jay
Yeah.
Alvarez, like that whole thing. So like that's I got super into that, and I got really into like video and making edits and doing stuff. So that's kind of I started doing that in high school,
Uh-huh.
and like me and my friends would just like make short films and like short edits and stuff like that, like travel edits and all that, as one did at that time. And
Yeah.
I feel like that naturally, like we were just doing that a ton. Like all of my high school, I think that's all I was doing, at least like after my sophomore year, pretty much. And then a buddy of mine was like had this idea. He's like, "Oh, I want to start this brand," and like so he started, and then I ended up joining and helping out. And we were just like making little edits and like would print like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. So I
Here,
don't know
wait.
if it was ever really about fashion. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got kicked out of the game. I don't know. Are
Dude,
you in a game right
I
now?
was doing good this. I Yeah, I am, and I'm doing really good. No, I'm kidding.
Freak.
I can
No, just
quick do it.
try and
I'm
send me
gonna.
another invite.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to do that. I'm honestly. Oh wait, I see your little thing. Oh no, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna just click. It doesn't matter. We can be in it together. Sorry, I was just going after it. I was warming
No,
up.
I was like, why am I
Um,
in a I was like in the home lobby for a while. I'm like, is Cam also or like what?
sorry, I just left you in the dust. Okay. Um, I'm gonna invite you again.
Okay.
But so that was kind of the reason behind it. Like I was more interested in like the brand building side of things. Like I wasn't necessarily like it was just like hoodies and tees. And I think at that time, I mean, that was like 2014 or 15. And I feel like that's when people were getting general, like they understood, like, oh, you can make clothes and like print logos and stuff. So like back then, that was pretty hard. Like everyone,
Yeah.
I cannot, wait, sorry, cannot rejoin match because the player was not previously in the match. Oh, okay, I gotta make a new one. We'll do a smaller one.
Okay.
So that was like at the time where people were like, you can make a hoodie with like a graphic on it or whatever. Okay, it's not letting me. Oh, okay, it's good. And everyone was hyped on it.
Yeah.
So, but I was more interested in kind of like the brand building side of things. So like making like the website and doing campaigns and making edits and videos and stuff like that. So I kind of just did that, and we were doing that, and we had this brand. So I started that my sophomore year of high school. We started, or maybe it's junior, and then we carried it through 20. Like I did it all throughout high school, all throughout college, and then 2 years after I graduated college, we were running that brand.
Wow.
And by that time, it's like I learned so much. Like, you know, I remember my last 2 years of college. I don't even think I took. I maybe took like 2 actual courses, but I was basically just doing the brand full time because I was able. I was doing advertising, like PR and ad,
Uh-huh.
and I was in like a film school, so it was kind of like the creative side of like PR and ad.
Okay.
And so a lot of my coursework was like actually running the brand, and I'd have like teachers, and we'd do like custom. I don't know what they call it, like independent study
Oh,
where so
okay.
I was basically running this brand in college and like being able to learn so much from it. So did that all throughout college and like learned a lot about design and graphic design. And again, like I was still focused mostly on like the brand side of things, like making videos and photo campaigns and telling like stories through the brand. So it wasn't necessarily like super fashion forward yet. Like we were doing a few cut and sew items, but it was mostly just like prints and basic tees,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of like branded pieces and videos. And I went to a film school, so a lot
What
of my friends were super hyped and like helped out.
what why did you want to go to film school? Just cuz you've just always been making edits, like, or was like movies the goal?
No, I never. Well, I initially went in for business. I went to Chapman University, which is weird because I feel like a lot of people in the fashion space right now, like there are people that own brands, and a lot of them go there. But they're like pretty well known for their film programs. I didn't go
Oh,
initially
okay.
for film. I just liked kind of I wanted to be adjacent to it because I was like, I don't want to be doing movies. I don't want to be doing film like forever. But then I was able to transfer into, they had like an advertising program
Oh,
within
sick.
the film school. So like it was kind of the perfect storm. It was like a lot of brand building, campaigns, like how do you like the creative side of advertising, not as much like performance marketing and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I was just doing that and building the brand throughout. I mean, while I was in college, basically, and then, like, sorry, go ahead.
No, and was the brand just like mostly like t-shirts and like that kind of stuff and sweatshirts, or did you
Yeah.
start like towards the tail end, like get into like the actual like cut and sew, go to a manufacturer with like a tech pack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, dude, the whole time that I was in college, maybe like halfway through it, we started doing some cut and sew. I wasn't really doing design there though, because we had three. So it was like me and three of my buddies at this point, and I was just basically doing like the marketing. Like I was doing all the campaigns and all that. So I didn't really do much design. I do the graphics and stuff. But yeah, I didn't really do that. We were doing it as like a brand, but I didn't. I never really designed anything.
Uh-huh.
And so I graduated college, and like we were able to do the brand full time for I think it was a year, almost 2 years basically. And after I graduated, we started producing like locally in LA. We had like jackets and pants and cut and sew stuff done in LA. So that kind of taught me. I mean, dude, that world is crazy, and I think as you see it now, like a lot of brands are producing in LA,
Uh-huh.
and it's really cool. And I think when you do it right, it's awesome, and it turns out really well. But there's also a lot of horror stories that I
Right.
don't. I mean, I think some of them are coming out, but it's a lot of work. It's really involved, and to make a good product there, I think is really difficult as well. And we learned that the hard way. Like we shifted. I graduated college, and then we shifted all of our production. We're doing it all in LA. Like we want it to be because we had like horrible manufacturers. We were just
Right.
meeting people off of not horrible, but like they weren't up to the standards, and we were trying to position as like a more premium brand. So we're like, we're gonna make it all locally. And so we just jumped right into that and learned like the hard way how intense it was to just run all of that. Um, so that's kind of when I started designing stuff. Like I didn't like a year. So I was running a brand and doing like brand building and marketing and all that stuff for like maybe like 7 years maybe or 6 years. I don't know whatever
Right.
the math is. And I didn't do any design stuff really. I mean, I was like doing artwork for a t-shirt. And then like the tail end of the brand, like the ownership started to bubble up a little bit. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll try to do some of the design stuff. And just like see how it goes. And I kind of just fell in love with it. It just felt really natural. And I think it's a culmination of all the other skills that I learned. And it was like, I got really good at, not really good, like I got really proficient at like graphic design
Right.
and photography and video. And then I like was in a bunch of architecture classes in high school. So it all kind of like came together and made sense. And I was like, okay, well, this is just basically the same thing as like doing graphic design in like a physical space. So it felt natural, and I didn't start doing that until that was probably 2023. I wasn't like really designing until pretty recently, and like when you zoom out, like I was just doing a lot more of the brand stuff.
Dude, that's
until
awesome.
Yeah, but I think that was like, sorry, one more thing. I think that was really important to like get those skill sets and not just go right into like, let me start making clothes and like designing clothes. So
right.
I'm definitely very thankful for that.
I feel like it's really easy for like people to just like make an Instagram page and have like some graphics and is like t-shirts coming soon, you know, but it's like a whole nother thing to have like just like this whole like brand aesthetic that you've set up. One of the like coolest things, or like I knew you were like a legit like brand and like just a legit like you had a vision when you did that campaign thing with Elvis and Marilyn Monroe and Mike Tyson impersonators, and had no articles of clothing ever mentioned or talked about, just like one logo. And like why, like I knew like that's gonna work, but like what made you want to do a campaign like that, and why did you like think it would work?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly with that, I never thought it would work. I just thought it was pretty funny. And like I'm super lucky, like obviously going to film school and like in the Los Angeles area, so like a lot of everyone still lives out here,
right?
And everyone's like, all my friends are super supportive, and like I luckily have friends in like all realms of like film and production. So it's like I just pitched it to one of my buddies, my friend Eli, who's like a DP, and he's shot all of our campaigns. He shoots on 16 millimeter film.
Oh,
and we were
wow.
just talking about it one day, and we're like, we should just do it. Like it'd be so funny. I was like, I don't want like no clothes involved. Let's just like do something funny, and I think more of a brand building piece. And I look back at it now, and I'm so happy we did it because everything, and it makes sense. It's like as a brand, you want to put money and resource behind stuff that is going to drive performance. Obviously, like okay, I want to spend this money on the shoot and get like 5 Instagram reels, for example, that like will perform well and like might end up in sales, and that's really important. Obviously, like as a business owner. But I think that's starting to get overlooked a lot, where brands are just slopping out like, what's a good Instagram reel idea that I can do, and they're not considering the broader brand and storytelling that they're trying to do. So they often forfeit like actual storytelling for like performance and short form reels, which we've done plenty of times, plenty of times, and then you have to balance it. You have to do both. But I felt like that was a really important moment to just be like, okay, I want to really talk about the brand storytelling and create and like just continue to build out the world and like the iconography and the motifs that the brand was like built on. And I was talking about it earlier about kind of like American iconography, and like using impersonators like Elvis and Mike Tyson and Marilyn Monroe like, was a really appropriate way to do that, I felt like. So that was kind of a moment where it's like, okay, you can do performance and you can like build the brand and tell a story that is more meaningful than just like a couple stupid like Instagram reels that are more like social forward. So that was a moment for that, and I felt like it was important to do, and I want to continue doing it because in a world where it's like, okay, we want to get a lot of views and like we want this video to be really shareable and like really engaging. Um, I think there's brands that will get stuck in this loop of only doing that, and then you kind of just become like a nothing brand. Like you become
Yeah.
like short form content, like which is cool, you need it. But like a brand only doing like short form Instagram forward content. Did I just get banned? Is that what that said on Halo? Bro, I got banned.
What?
Why? From matchmaking. Okay, we're gonna have to play college football now. Because I'm getting rinsed anyway. Sorry, I got distracted. Let me finish the thought. But I think there's a lot, and especially as you grow, there's a lot of pressure to do things that are like gonna help the brand grow, like revenue wise, followers, whatever, reach. But I think it's equally important to spend time and resource building the brand. Like even like we create this minute long video that's like a slow burn about Maryland or about Mike Tyson and Elvis getting married that shows none of our clothes. It's like that wasn't a performance piece. Like we weren't trying to get like a bunch of shares
Right.
and like performance on Instagram Reels, but that was a good pillar for the brand that has so much payoff in the long term. It's like this is the world, this is what the brand is about, and you're not just like chugging out little like outfit check UGC style videos for the
Yeah.
brand. So I don't know. That was the broader purpose of it.
I also like have seen your older videos of like you made these double knees with like a fish in the double knees, like a fish
Yeah.
tank sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
was that kind of something that you did to like try and get traction, or like what made you want to make something like that?
Yeah. Wait, can we hop on college football real quick
Oh
and then I'll tell you the story.
yeah.
Do you
Here wait.
do you have it?
I have Game Pass, so I could do. I think it's like cloud gaming.
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Okay.
I'll answer the question though while we're because I got banned from matchmaking. I must have been cheeks as it is. Wait, unless it'll let me play. Oh no, we're good. We're good. It unbanned me.
Oh really? Okay.
We're good to go. Yeah, we're in a match. Yeah, I mean, so when I started the brand, this was right off. So we like there's issues with my past brand that I was talking about, and so we cut that. And I felt like that brand stopped right when I was really starting to understand it. Like it took, and I was young. Like we started it when I was like 15 or something. So like we had no
Wow.
idea what we were doing up until, and at that point I was 22 or whatever that is, a long time. And I felt like I was just getting a grasp on like I feel like the campaigns we were doing and like the clothes and obviously we were producing in LA, we're all starting to get to this level of like quality that you'd think that we're like in par with these bigger brands. And I was super excited. And then right when that started happening, the brand stopped because of like issues with the ownership.
Uh-huh.
And I was like kind of itching for more. I was like, dude, I just feel like I kind of cracked the code and like understand how all this works. Like I can do the photo and the video and the design and like make this cohesive brand at a pretty high level for just being a single person. And so I was like, okay, let's start Arran, and it's just going to be like a side project type of thing. Like I'm not like I was kind of burnt out of trying to run a brand as like a career. There's just a lot of stress to try and make it work. So I was eager to do more of it. But my connection was interrupted. I got locked out. You might have to boot out and join again. I'm gonna invite you.
Okay.
But so I felt like I was just like on the brink of like understanding it all, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it as a career. It's really stressful. I'm just gonna do it as a side project. And I think the mentality of doing it as a side project in my head gave me the freedom to like do whatever I wanted. Because in the last brand, for example, I was so worried about like, okay, we need to do this and it's got to perform this way and we've got to sell this much to like pay off all of like our rent and like all the whatever expenses we had. It was so stressful because it's like we didn't really know what we were doing. We had all these expenses. So like every decision you make at that point is like performance based. Like how is what we're doing now going to result in helping the business grow because we need it to grow. Like we can't afford not to. And I feel like coming from a place of that, of scarcity and trying to just make things work is really difficult because you start making decisions out of like stress and necessity rather than doing something different and just like doing what you want to do. You're like, oh, well, it's working for this brand. So like, let's try it for us because like we need to sell this much or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the freedom of starting Arran and not having that pressure, I'm like, I don't care. Like none of this could feel like this is basically just like a passion project, like a fun like side project allowed me to approach it of like I can do whatever I want. Like it doesn't matter. Like I don't need to sell this. So going back to the fish pants, I was like, what's something I always had these kind of crazier ideas and I was like, it doesn't make sense in like a brand setting. Like it doesn't make sense to make pants with like live fish in it
Yeah.
for a brand. Like what's that about? So that I started Arran. I was like, let's just do all these crazy ideas because I want to express myself and I think creatively like push myself. And now I kind of have an outlet to do it at that is low risk because that was like the first thing we did. So I don't know. I guess like it worked out that it ended up like being a viral campaign, but it didn't come from that. It wasn't like, oh, what's something I can do to go viral? It's just like, what's a crazy idea? And I feel like coming from that place gives you so much more freedom. Like you're not stressed about like, oh, am I gonna sell this or like, are people gonna like it? Like we can just do whatever we want, and if no one views it or nobody buys anything, it's fine because that wasn't the purpose of it.
Like I think from those pants and from other things I've seen you do, you take two things that don't go together and mesh them together. Like for example, the wool pants you did, the like pit crew sweater. It's like a sweater and a pit crew like uniform. And I want to know why, like, what makes you so drawn to putting two things together that don't mesh.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Sorry, it says you're idling too.
Oh, really?
Can you on idle so I can play some Halo? No, I'm kidding. While we figure that out, okay, I'm gonna invite you again. But yeah, back to like meshing two things. I think there's such a saturation. There always has been in fashion, like any kind of like desirable field that people think are like cool or whatever. Dude, it's like not working.
So weird.
Let me figure this out. Now it works. Any desirable thing like fashion or art or creativity, like where there's so many people just trying to do it, it's like there's also so much repetition. It's like everything's been done, especially in fashion, and like all the stories. Like I talk about the brand being super based on like American iconography and like American narratives and stuff like that. It's like that has been done forever. People like Ralph has been doing that forever. They're like ALD. I mean, they're like an offshoot of Ralph, and it's like that's been done. People have been like Wrangler, Levi's, like they've been doing it. So it's like, how do you tell a similar story without just like rinsing the exact same thing as everyone's been doing forever? And I think to me, it was that by combining two things that like don't live with each other natively was kind of the first step to that. And I think like the pit crew trousers, for example, it's like there's been a ton of cargos and there's been a ton of wool trousers. It's like everyone's done that.
Yeah.
And both of those things feel like innately like American heritage. But like, how do we do this in like a new and interesting way? And I think that not just on the product side, like on the brand side as well, I'm challenging myself to do that. It's like even through the campaigns and everything else we do, it's like this is not a new story. Like people, there are obviously personal narratives that you can like go into or whatever that are unique, but as a broader brand, it's like this whole American heritage and just like American like iconography has been done so many times. Like how do we do this in a way that hasn't been done before? And I think by combining those two things that like don't necessarily go together, is one of the ways you can execute that, and you can like in product and in marketing or whatever it may be. It's like let's just challenge ourselves to find a new like angle to tell these stories that have been told forever. So
That's
that's
awesome.
where it started off.
Um, and then I love the term you've come up with for like what your brand is. Bible Belt retro futurism, but what is that? Like, can you break down what that means?
Yeah, I mean, I think in that, so that was from that Hype Beast interview. Like, I think I would maybe update that a little bit now, but
Uh huh.
I think the the sentiment is still true. But I was saying earlier, like the world that I love the brand to live in is like this rural American, like kind of forgotten about America.
Uh huh.
And that ties back to like the personal story I was saying with like my grandma and all this stuff, and like being in like the rural American South in like the mid-century like time period, like the 40s to the 60s or whatever. Like I feel like I've always been so drawn to that aesthetic. And I've got so many books right here of just like old photo books from that time period,
Oh wow.
of just like sculptures and houses and people from that time period. So that's kind of where and it's not just um, bound to like the Bible Belt, which is like the southern states, obviously.
Right.
That's where it's pretty apparent. I think like that design language, and that's mostly what it's inspired by. It's like the the design of like you. So my parents were living in Atlanta, and it's like just driving around there and like some of the rural towns, like the little gas stations or like old houses, just the like industrial design around that time and area is so interesting because there's a lot of like untouched stuff from like the 50s and the 60s and even earlier. It's like over there,
Uh
so it's
huh.
mostly relating to like the aesthetic of it, and I think that's where it's most apparent. It's still all over the U.S., especially like in the Midwest. It's all over the place too. But that's kind of where the Bible Belt part comes from. It's mostly
Mm-hmm.
just I think a like a filter, like a definition of like the design style and like rough world that I want the product to live in aesthetically more than other things.
Right.
So that's where that comes from. The retrofuturism part kind of comes in from, and that's where I'd maybe update that now. But I think just recontextualizing that world, and it's like I think I'm really interested in like how do we tell this story and how do we show this world in the most stripped back way possible. I'm
Mm.
not really into like cosplaying things, and I feel like they're and I don't mean this in like a negative way at all. Like this is what they are. This is what they've done so well. But like a Ralph, for example, they're pretty on the nose. It's like when they do like a cowboy story, for example, like everyone's in like jeans and cowboy boots and riding horses, and like they're like it could be like a movie set about cowboys. Like it's pretty
Right.
on the nose, which is great. And like I was saying, like that's been done so many times, and it's like I'm not really interested in doing that. So it's like, how do we, if we were to tell like a cowboy story, for example, how would we do that in a different way? And I think stripping it all back, and it's like, how can we do this as simply as possible without losing that story element to it?
Mm.
So that's kind of where that comes to, and I think just challenging us to find stripped back ways and also like interesting and different approaches to tell those same stories that have been told by a lot of different brands and people and movies forever, just through kind of a new lens. So that's where that comes from. I'd probably again not call it like retrofuturism
Right.
per se now, but that's the general idea.
Someone in the chat said, I want to know how he goes from ideation to physical final product. How did he learn out? How did he learn how to do that?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting one, and that's kind of always shifting. For me, and this makes it so much like anyone out like trying to start a brand or whatever, it's always so much easier when you have like a story point for reference. And I think for us, like I'll give like the pit crew trousers we just did for the new Wayne collection, like the pit crew trouser and sweater, a start. It's always like latching onto a narrative. So I was super into like Myrtle Beach, in which is like a beach kind of like vacation spot in South Carolina, I think. And I feel like my mom, like growing up, she'd always talk about like she'd take them and like my brother and sister there. So I was just kind of like researching the area, but also like lives in that kind of like Bible Belt world, and found that they had this old NASCAR track there. And I was like, for whatever reason, I got super into this NASCAR track in Myrtle Beach. Like this, I'm thinking like this small coastal beach town with like a NASCAR track in like the mid-century, like American South. I don't know, just like that kind of world and that aesthetic was really intriguing to me. And so I got super into like this NASCAR track in Myrtle Beach, and that I was like, let's make a bunch of pieces inspired by that. So that it's everything's kind of natural from there. I think finding that point to start from, and that like the that lives in the world that we're trying to do. It's like we're trying to do these kind of like forgotten America stories, and like that NASCAR track, for example, like fits pretty perfectly into that.
Mm-hmm.
So the story made sense. I knew that was what I wanted to kind of talk about, and then it goes into like how do you execute that through garments. And I got really latched into like I started doing research on like the like racers and the cars and the spectators, and then was getting really into like the pit crews who would obviously like, change the tires and whatever. I don't know anything
Right.
about NASCAR. I'm just learning as I go. But I got super into the pit crews, and I noticed in like the mid like I don't know when it ended, but I think it was like the 50s or 60s. NASCAR was like in automotive racing was like pretty not broadly accepted. Like everyone kind of thought it was like a punk sport. Like it was just a bunch of
Interesting.
like hoodlums doing it. So all of the pit crew people wore like full white uniforms, which is kind of crazy because like they're just getting dirty like with grease and oil and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So that I got super into that, and I was like, that's a really interesting concept. It lives in the world. Like it all kind of just made sense. And then I was like, let's just make a bunch of pieces inspired by like pit crews, basically. So I think when you're designing stuff, like always having, and that's what sets, I think, great. And not to say that we do it perfectly, but it's definitely an intention of like, I think that's what sets great brands apart and great product apart is that you're not just randomly designing into stuff. And I think a lot of people that start brands now, it's like, there's a benefit to approaching design this way, and there's also a big hindrance. It's like if you approach product of like what would I wear, like what would I actually wear and what do I want to wear, I feel like that's so limiting because to me like personally I dress pretty simple. Like
Right.
I'm not wearing the craziest stuff, so it's like if I'm designing for my wardrobe it's a pretty small little bucket. Like I'm not really doing crazier stuff,
Yeah.
but if I start the design process with like what would live in this world, like there are unlimited possibilities. And then you kind of like, as you get further down the process of like, okay, so we're going to design into like pick your uniform, then you start coming up with ideas. And I think as you start filtering down what ideas you like, you figure out, well, this like isn't really wearable. Like no one's ever going to wear this. So then you can start to mesh in like what becomes wearable, what would somebody actually wear, and then you can get more like logistic and practical about it. But I think at the start, approaching it without that lens of like not being like, what would I wear?
Yeah.
And, like, what will people buy? Is it's just so limiting. It's really hard to design like that, and that's also I think how you end up with designing product that a million other people are already doing. So
Yeah.
that's how I would do it. Start with a narrative and go from there.
And something I appreciate about your brand is like, yes, you pay tribute to things, but also you do things like on your own. You do things that other people aren't, and like you explore just uh like we kind of talked about earlier, just like meshing two things that don't go together versus like a lot of brands it's just all like, oh, let's make a single stitch tee and like distress it a little. Oh, let's make like a pinstripe herringbone, like just very they take something that's stripped from the like 80s and then just recreate it. But what I love is like how you do that, and I think that's what makes your brand feel like it's like slow fashion. It's not something that you're gonna see from every single brand. Another thing is I always hear you say like we, and I want to know like do you have other people on your team that design, or is it mainly just you that does all like the tech pack stuff?
Yeah, I mean, so I've just always been in the habit of saying we, like even like when I first started the brand, because it's like it's not about me, like it just isn't at this point. And even when I started, it's like I never wanted to be like my designs. It's like it lives in the world of Aaron, so it's larger than me. So it's never like me, I. It was always kind of plural. So I've always been talking like that, but
Uh-huh.
now we do have a small team. So we have my girlfriend EJ. She's been amazing. She joined in October maybe. So she's been doing a lot of the logistical stuff, all the customer service, like making sure things are on time and like customers are happy. And if
Uh-huh.
you've gotten like an email or a DM from us, like that's her doing it. And I think just like that was a priority for me as well. So she handles all like the shipping and the timeline. So that was a priority for me this year is like I want people, especially in the like the landscape that we're in like our consumer base. I think a lot of customers and brands that these customers buy from are like I don't know if the brands just like don't value the customers as much or like
Yeah,
don't
there's a lot of
understand the
pre-orders.
implications.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of pre. That's exactly what I'm talking. There's a lot of, and we did a pre-order, and we do them. But I think there's a lot of pre-orders. I don't mean to say that's the issue. I think
Right.
there's just a lack of communication and maybe a lack of prioritization for these people that you're just holding their money, basically. So I think for me, like our first collection just way exceeded kind of what I thought it would. Like I had no idea how it's going to go. So we did a pre-order and like people were happy to wait and we made people wait way too long. Like some stuff took like 2.5 months, 3 months, and it was just like I never want to do that again. It's like as a consumer, I'd be really mad if that happened to me, and I never want to do that again. We have a pre-order open right now as I'm saying this, but it's like there's as I'm really trying to minimize it and I'm trying to maximize the customer experience too. Where it's
Yeah.
like I don't want people to wait 3, 4 months for stuff like that's like the last thing I want to happen. And I think it's just become kind of a norm, which is weird. Like you see brands, it's like all their comments are like, "I've been waiting 3, 4 months," and I
Yeah,
think
it's like
there's
ship
a
this.
grace period. Yeah, yeah, and it's like there's a grace period. And I don't want to like say that's like we're above it because we've obviously had issues like that, but there's a time and point where it's like, okay, the brand's big enough, you have enough capital, you can fix this, and choosing not to prioritize it I think is a little I don't know. I not to talk on other people's stuff, but I think for me I was like this is top priority. Like I want to minimize pre-order windows. It's like we're obviously still a really new brand, so like order quantities and stuff like that. We have no idea how things are going to perform when it releases, so you're never going to get it perfect. But it's like if there's demand for a product and people are willing to do a pre-order, like I'm pretty transparent. Like we have a pre-order open for the wool trousers now,
Uh-huh.
and like we've been doing email follow-ups and making sure on site it's really clear how long people are going to wait. So it's like you're never going to get it right, but I think prioritizing making the customers happy and like you paid us and you trusted us in our product. So it's like I'm not going to treat you like not to say other
Yeah.
brands treat
Right,
you like
right.
garbage, but it's like they're not prioritizing the customer that they are just holding their money basically. So that all goes back to like she came in and just like really helped button all that stuff up, like production timelines, and like we have a fulfillment center that's shipping everything not as fast as we like it still, so we're still trying to figure that out, but like ship stuff out within a couple days, and we're trying to get back to people really quickly. So she's been leading all of that. Um, I'm still doing all the design, and then we just had a new content guy start with us, just to
Okay.
like. There's so much stuff I want to do, and we're working on like I think for spring summer we have 35 new products, like
Really?
brand new styles. So it's like
No
trying to
way.
do that and run all the content and run like socials and all this stuff all by myself was just becoming like an impossible task. And so having somebody there to help like execute and ideate with that stuff has been awesome. Because it's like I don't want this to be like a small passion project anymore. Like as I continue to scale it, like I know this is where the brand started. But
Uh-huh.
like as I've gotten more into it, it's like this is so cool to be able to do more of this. Like how about instead of doing one product every 4 months, we're able to do a bunch more. And it's like I think me realizing that like the more I'm able to do, the more product I'm able to do, the more um, campaigns we're able to shoot. Like that's just that's what I want to do. It's like I love doing
Yeah.
this. So it's like if we can do more of it, that's awesome in like a sustainable way, obviously. Um, without just like ripping a bunch of stuff out. It's like if we can just do more product and I just get to design all day and shoot campaigns, it's like that's all I want for the brand. And having like a team to support that is number one, obviously. So that's the we.
Yeah.
Sorry, another
No,
long-winded answer.
you're
But
good. I have one more thing I want to talk about, and then I think we can wrap up. But
yeah,
something a little birdie told me something about Grace Wells Bonner yoga retreat.
oh my god. Yeah, I'm the little birdie. I'll admit it. I was watching a TikTok the other day, and someone was like interviewing her, and I was like, this would be a funny story because it felt relevant to this. Um, this is completely random. It has nothing to do with anything, but I just thought it was a funny story. I've never like told. I didn't have a proper place to tell it. Like I was
Okay,
like,
here.
talk about
Well,
this or anything.
now you do.
Now we've got it. Yeah. So I was in college and I was fortunate enough to do this thing called Semester at Sea, which is basically like Sweet Life on Deck. Do you remember that show?
Uh-huh.
So they were like all living on a boat. So like I was able to
What?
take classes like while we're on a cruise ship, or like it's not a cruise. I guess it's a small cruise ship. And you go like around the world. Like it started in Mexico. We went all like to Japan, like all through Asia, and then ended up in Europe. And I'm on this with like some friends and stuff. And one of the stops we go to is in India. And at the time, I was like super into. I was working at like a yoga studio in college, and like super into that stuff. So I was like, I should go to a yoga retreat in India. Like that would be crazy. Like that. Like everyone's going to the Taj Mahal and stuff. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I was like, let's hit a yoga retreat in India because that felt like the thing to do. And so I go, and we don't have like Wi-Fi on the ship. Like we're in the middle of the ocean. This is like 20. This is right before COVID, so 2019. And we had like 10 minutes or a week or something. You could use like the communal computer to like book your travel and like trips for when you land. Because like when you land at a country, you're able to like get off the boat and go explore or whatever. It's like you do class while you're on the boat. So you have like 10 minutes to book your travel for the country you're gonna get off. So I just Google like yoga retreat in India, and I have like a 10-minute timeline. It's like book flights, book all of it. I just book like the first one I see, the first one I can get flights to. Book this random retreat. Had to book like 2 flights to get on it. So like we got off at the port, and I took two flights, and it was like in the middle of nowhere, India. Like we after 2 flights and whatever, it was like took like an hour long like taxi. They call it tuk-tuks there, which are these like moped type of things with like these carriages on the back. It took like an hour long. So we're deep in India. Like I have no idea where it was even. And so I'm at this yoga retreat, and there's like 6 other people there. There's like a family, or I don't know if it's a family. There's a group of 3, and then like a mom and her daughter. And I'm there for 4 days, and we're having like lunch or breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, like doing all the yoga and all that stuff, and, like hanging out together. There's just like 6 of us, and I get really close to the mom and the daughter. They're from like the UK or whatever, and we're like having breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, like hanging out, and we're just like talking to them or whatever. And we were at like lunch one day, maybe lunch or some meal, and the mom leaves, so it's just me and like the daughter. And I was like, oh, so like what? And I thought she was like maybe in high school or something. So I was like, oh, like what are like you on like spring break or something? So it was like spring break time. And I was like, oh, what grade are you in school? And she's like, oh no, I'm gonna butcher the age, but it's like late 20s or something. It's like what? I had no idea. She looked super young. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And I got kind of like weirded out because I was like, oh, I totally thought she was like in high school or something. And it was just awkward. She's like, no, I'm not in high school. Like, I'm way older than you. So that ended, whatever. And then later that day, we're at dinner, and it's just the mom this time comes to dinner. And I was like, oh, well, your daughter was saying like she's older. Like, what is she doing? Like, we didn't really talk about, like why they were there, like what they were doing there. And she's like, oh yeah, she's a fashion designer. Like, she doesn't like really boast about it. But, like, I'm so proud of her. Like, she just showed in like London or Paris Fashion Week or something. And at this time, I like didn't know anything about like the runway world or whatever, any of that stuff, like higher fashion. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, I have a brand too. I print T-shirts and stuff, and I was like all hyped on my brand. Like, who cares about this runway stuff? Um, and I was like, cool, whatever. And then, like, I think she said her name in passing, and we like looked her up, and we're like, oh, this is cool. But again, like at that time, I was like in college. I was like, I don't care about like runway fashion or anything like that. I just care about my T-shirts that I'm printing, like my stupid little brand. Um, and turns out, sure enough, it's Grace Wells Bonner, and this is like
No
2019.
way.
Yeah, so it's like we were just hanging out at this yoga retreat for like 3 or 4 days together, just like kicking it, like with her and her mom. And I just had no idea the whole time. I thought she was in high school. And yeah, and then after that, I think this is maybe right before, like, if you were in the fashion world, I'm sure you knew of her. But like mainstream, this is like 2019. I think right after that, she had this big collection, and then like Design for the Queen, and then all the samba stuff happened, and like
Yeah.
it just went nuclear. And it was just such a funny story. Like all that started happening, and I was like,
Wow.
oh my God. And I thought she was just like some random high schooler on spring break. But just a crazy story that there's like 6 people in the middle of India, and like that is
And one of them is freaking Grace Wells Bonner. That is insane.
yeah, insane. So I felt like that was an appropriate story to tell.
No, that is awesome.
To tell here.
That is
Yeah,
so
should we
awesome.
finish this game? We got some time. I know you said we
Yeah,
should finish
let's
this game at least, huh?
let's do it. Um so when it comes to like research, are books your go-to?
I'd be lying if I said I'm not like super on the internet with like other pages and all that stuff. And that's the easiest one. I do find that you're able to get. I got really into books like a year or so ago. So I bought a bunch of them, and like all within that kind of like rural southern world. That's a good starting place. I feel like that just helps me kind of like that and movies and like outside of fashion. I'm talking about like that movies and what's the other thing I was gonna say? Like, honestly, like art. Like there's a lot of like painters and other like fine artists that really focus on like there's a big community of like American focused, like Ed Ruscha and like Matt McCormick, like all of them that just like really focus on like American iconography. Super inspired by them, so I think that's always a really great starting place to kind of like help polish off the. And I keep saying world building. I know it's like a buzzword now, but like actually like the world that you're trying to
Right.
build. But I feel like that's always a great place. And then there's obviously like a bunch of fashion references for like execution, like, oh, this pocket or this fabric or whatever. But yeah, I think starting from a place that's not clothes is really important too, because then
Yeah.
you're able to like kind of break out of like if you're like, oh, I want to make a pair of raw denim, and you just like start researching a bunch of raw denim. It's like you're based like you're limiting your what could be done so much. I feel like, or at least for me, it's like hard to imagine anything outside of that. Compared to if we're like, okay, what if we think about this pair of raw denim, but rather than think about how it looks, like where it lives and like how. I think the possibilities are just broader when you approach it that way. So
Yeah.
that's what's worked for me.
First, what was the first reaction of JB wearing your clothes?
Dropped to my knees. We were in a coffee shop, and like so his stylist assistant or something, like I think that's what you'd call it. Yeah, she's an awesome friend, but like she just hit me up out of nowhere, like the brand. I think we just released our fall collection, like that, which is like our first kind of big thing.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Hey, I have this person. Like, you want to give any clothes?" So like she came over, and I gave her like everything, like every sample I've ever made, every like I think she walked out like 30 items.
Oh my
And I was
gosh.
like, I hope like he just wears something at some point. Like this would be amazing. And like
Because
sure
you
enough,
knew she was the stylist for Justin?
yeah, she told me.
Okay.
She's like they're going on a trip or something like that. Like if you want to like give some stuff, which is just like that alone is crazy. Just like
Yeah.
know somebody that's doing it. Like she's awesome. She's been so helpful. And so that alone is like crazy. You know, like all right, I'm giving her like the more product we give him, the more chance we have to like he wears
Right.
something. and I think I gifted it to her like a week before our collection came out. And then, like, sure enough, 2 days after the collection released, we had the leather jackets up for like pre-order still. Like people, because those were like made to order because they're like our first big like, leather jacket thing. And like 2 days later, the website's still open, which is like the odds of that happening too are crazy. Because I was gonna shut it down the next day. And he just posts full on like frontal photo, and then so does Haley, and like a friend sends it to me, and I'm in a coffee shop, and like we just screeched, like
Wow.
me and EJ, my girlfriend, were there, and we're like speechless. So that happened, and then it's like, yeah, they were still live, so we were able to produce a couple more of them and like get them into some more people's hands, which is always, and like the reception of those was so amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That it was awesome.
Dang. Okay, so you've got your product on Justin Bieber. Who's next? Like, who's the dream customer?
I love Drake. I love Drake's music. There's a lot of people. Drake would. I was just listening. I say that because we were listening to him last night, and we were like, "This would be hilarious." He might be the step up. He might be the next step up. I think he's a hard guy to get.
I mean,
that would be cool. But like, I'd love to do like that. I mean, anyone like with that much like reach and like influence is such an honor. Like, I know I made a video about
right.
the Justin thing happening like recently, and people were like, "Oh, well, this isn't that much of a surprise. Like he's worn it before," and it's like that. It's like they're mutually exclusive. It's like it's every single time. It's like this is insane. So I think just having somebody that you respect their art so much, being able to wear it would be cool. Obviously, like the scale of somebody like a Drake or like at that level would be crazy. I would love for it to be on maybe like some other like smaller people that would be really interesting. Here's a good example. So that was my only example, not the best.
No.
We were talking about this the other day.
I mean, what's his name? I feel like Drake has a pretty like strict contract with Nike, and he wore the like fake Nike Fugazi shoes that Trevor Gordy designed.
That was
so
back in the day.
So I feel like
that like shock value of that would be pretty crazy. Like I just like
right.
Like how did this happen? That would be cool. You know what? Whatever. I'm gonna lock in Drake as my answer.
Okay.
I'm sure you'd clown for that, but whatever.
That's awesome. Trying to think. I wrote down some questions. Oh, like I guess you've kind of already talked about this, but it just seems like your approach for design has changed so much from like your early work. Like, what was the main influence of that?
Wait, sorry, my Wi-Fi just stuck.
You're good.
Okay, wait. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so your early work like is a lot different from like your current clothing, and I just want to know like how did this like approach shift change?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I first started the brand, like I know I talked about it earlier, but it was a lot more like random passion project pieces, which are cool, and I still love doing those. Like they're more brand pieces, like the fish pants, or like even like the Judy, or some of the earlier things. They were maybe a little bit less wearable, and more story pieces, which I love doing, and like it's still going to be a huge pillar of the brand. But I think as we continue to grow the brand, I also love stuff because it's like on a day-to-day level, like me personally, I wasn't pulling out the Judy to wear the Judy every day. It's like that
right.
within my wardrobe, like that was a special occasion thing. And I think that's important to have for the brand. Like you want to have those brand pieces, but I'd also like, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of other people. It's like they're not going to wear something like super loud and out there every day, and they serve a purpose in the brand. But being able to make things that carry the same intention of like, we're trying to make, like tell the story and do things a little different, but like making them wearable to more people is also a challenge in itself. And I know we talked about it earlier. It's like, well, you're trying to make like a pit crew trouser and you have all these crazy ideas, but it's like, now that's another like challenge is like, how do we make this wearable, tell the story and make it different, but it's not like a crazy outlandish piece that no one's gonna wear. So that's also like another challenge, and I think that's a skill set I'm learning in itself of like how can we do this and how can like people actually get to enjoy and wear the clothing. So I think I've been focusing a lot more on how we're able to do this and still like make it wearable to more people for like everyday occasions as well. Because like I love making those crazier pieces, but like we don't want to make everything we're doing like the craziest, most
Right.
outlandish like statement piece. So I think I've been focused a lot because that feels like a specialty to me. I can design like crazy jackets and whatever, and like more standout pieces. That feels the most natural. So I think it was more of just a challenge to me of like, how can we make more wearable, like everyday pieces? So that's where the focus has been recently. I think this last collection, everything felt pretty wearable. And for the summer as well. And I'm not saying every piece. I just think I'm
Right.
trying to do more pieces that are more broadly like, how do we do like a blank tee, for example? And like, what does
Right.
that look like? That's not just like copy and paste of everyone. That in itself, like, it's not the most exciting product, obviously, but that's a very important product. It's like you don't build a customer base on just these statement pieces, and you look at like bigger brands like Louis Vuitton, for example. It's like they do crazy runway pieces and whatever, but that's not they're like they're surviving and they're reaching more audience on like their card holders and their like monogram stuff.
Yeah.
Which to them they're probably like, we don't even care about this. This is like not exciting anymore. So just trying to figure out what that means for us and like how do we make those like more, not, I don't want to even say basic, but just more like approachable and wearable pieces with through like our DNA still. So it's like, yeah, how do you do a t-shirt? What do you do differently where it still like carries the DNA and like the purpose of the brand, like doing things a little differently, but it's more wearable. So that's a big shift, I think, for
Yeah.
now. And I don't mean that in the way of like everything is like that. I just think I've been prioritizing like what stuff that I'm wearing all Aaron stuff right now, and it's like you talked to me 6 months ago, and it's like I wouldn't be doing that because I'd be in like a hoodie and some crazy pants, and it's like I'm trying to play
Yeah.
Xbox right now, like I'm not wearing that. So I think translating that has been really important. So all the next stuff is going to have a good mix of more wearable stuff. I don't want to call it basics because it's not really, but for us, I guess what a basic would be. I'm calling it like a core collection. So really trying to expand that as well as kind of the more outlandish pieces.
That's a really good it's a really good answer. Super awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're in this game with me still, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, what?
I hopped
Oh,
out.
okay,
I
I'm
thought
playing
this was
alone.
our
I'm like,
last game. But
oh, I got excited. I got excited.
oh man, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I'm gonna go to the beach after this, so the UV's starting to dip, so I gotta
Oh,
get that on anyway.
I'm so jealous. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, not to rub it in.
No, dude, that's the goal. After I graduate, we want to move to California, so we'll get there someday. So, but this last picture or last question, I just got to know like what was your inspiration behind this outfit?
Dude, where did you even find that?
Dude, the
I was
internet is a
talking to
crazy
EJ earlier.
place.
I was like hoping, telling EJ, my girlfriend earlier, I was like, dude, I hope he pulls out some Nardwar. I actually don't, like, maybe like my mom's Facebook or something. That was probably when I started making photos. That was probably like prom or something. The gold watch was kind of tough too.
Yeah.
Wow, that was amazing. It just made my day. I'm gonna have to like go and scrub my like Facebook or something now after that.
Oh
yeah,
man.
That's where it all started.
That's when the drip started getting drippy.
Yeah, it started forming. So, God,
well,
that's good.
Any last things you want to like say about like upcoming things happening or?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think we're doing. I think I said it earlier. Like we got 35 new pieces for spring, summer. So like from now, we have a new collection coming out end of April. like basically a month from today. And then from there, it's going to be rapid fire. We got like, I think a new collection every like 4 to 6 weeks, like
Jeez.
for the end of the year, basically. So like really trying to build out, just like I'd love to have a base of products on the website at all times is the big thing. And like right now, I don't love doing the whole drop model. So the big intention is like, how can we have stuff that like sits on the site that is like a more core collection, and then also have those like seasonal kind of collection based pieces. So got a lot of stuff coming out. I think it's April 24th or 25th for the new collection. It's Wayne 2. Wait, I have promo for shit.
Oh.
We're calling it Wayne number 2. I'm knocking everything over. This is the version posters and stuff. Wayne number 2.
Nice.
That's it. So that'll be coming out, I think the 24th or the 25th. And then after that, you're gonna be sick of hearing from us because there's gonna be so much.
No,
So,
I love it. Seriously, like for the longest time, Stussy has been my favorite brand, but like after like having your clothes, I like can confidently say like yeah, you don't cut any corners. You're so precise. Like everything has attention to detail. Like it's like beyond clothing. It's like art, and it's just awesome. So like Arran Studios, soon to be Arran, you know, that is the brand. So it's been an honor and just awesome. Like I feel like we've been internet friends for a while, so it's been fun to just like actually chat. So I appreciate you doing this.
Anytime.
Yeah, this is fun.
Man, I'm here. I love talking and playing Halo. I probably got like 3 kills that whole thing, and I probably got killed like 60 times. So
hey, me too.
I'm happy no one could see my screen.
Yeah. All right, man. Well.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Thanks for doing this again.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Good rest of your Sunday.
Yep. You too. See ya.
All right. Later, man. Bye.